Is Wuthering Waves okay? Now, the last time I talked about this game in earnest, right, was when I did my big review for it after I'd kind of played it a bunch during the first couple days the game had launched, kind of, played it enough that I could get a good grasp of what the game had to offer in its 1.0 patch, and since then, they have gone into their 1.1 patch, and now recently their 1.2 patch. But I'm kind of worried because there are a couple things at play here that kind of make it so. How to put this? I think the environment that the game is in is going to make it a lot harder to succeed in the very near future. And let me explain. It is partially because the first couple patches of this game have not blown anybody away, right? Now, I think some people have thought the narrative and the voice acting have improved significantly from 1.0 to 1.1, and I can definitely say that that is true, partially because Yang Yang was not in as much of 1.1. Now, even her, I think, she's gotten a little bit better, but I still don't think Yang Yang's performance is very good overall. But the stuff with Jinshi, the stuff on Mount Firmament was pretty good. I enjoyed that. And, it didn't blow me away. It wasn't like, Penacony and Star Rail. It wasn't Fontaine in Genshin. It wasn't that level of storytelling, but I thought it was pretty good, at the very least. But there is a big problem from a market perspective that this game is going to face. The thing that helped Wuthering Waves on its release, in my opinion, was that Genshin was in a bit of a downward kind of time in its life cycle. It had wrapped up the Fontaine story and was kind of in those post-Archon Quest couple of patches that are more so events, some, less important additions to the map and things like that, and there aren't as many big updates coming. Also, this was before Zenless Zone Zero had released. Since then, Zenless Zone Zero has come out, and Genshin is now getting ready to jump into a patch that will not only be an anniversary patch, but also the start of a new 5.0 version of the game, which will mean Natlin is going to be there, new mechanics, new characters, and some new quality of life features to go along with the anniversary patch. That means that you've really got to step up your game if you're Kuro Games, and you're realizing that during your launch window, you really didn't have that much competition as far as games that fit your genre. Because Star Rail, as good of a game as it is a turn-based RPG, which means it has significantly less in common with a real-time action exploration game, which is what Wuthering Waves is. It's more similar to Genshin and more similar to Zenless Zone Zero, albeit it is not identical from a gameplay perspective to either of those games by any means. However, what I will say is it is a lot closer to that than it is a turn-based RPG like Star Rail. So with Zenless Zone Zero coming out, and with Genshin going into a really, really big patch, Wuthering Waves has to do something, and well, I came back to the game when 1.2 launched, and I'm bored. Like, I had fallen off of this game from doing dailies because there just wasn't anything to do. And it also felt like more work doing my dailies in Wuthering Waves than it did in Star Rail or Genshin. Because I don't play Zenless Zone Zero, I can't talk more about that. I just know that it's very, weird. But I can do my dailies on Genshin, and I can do my dailies on Star Rail way quicker, way less of a hassle than I can with something like Wuthering Waves. And in general, I'm just not invested in anything Wuthering Waves has done, and I know I joke and say that, well, it's because Camellia isn't in the game yet, and it is because Camellia isn't in the game yet, but it's also just because I'm not bought into the world or the characters really at all. A lot of them haven't really, gotten me that invested, and there's just not that much content in the game. And to be fair, it is very, very early in this game's life cycle, so it is okay to not have 5 years worth of content like Genshin does at this point. As it's going into 5.0, it has so much stuff in its open world, so many quest lines, so many characters, and so many quests associated with those characters, but Wuthering Waves really just doesn't have all that much that makes me think, man, I can't wait to log onto Wuthering Waves and do blank today. And it really needs to start getting that in the next couple patches, or else I think it's going to be in some real trouble going forward, because, once again, Natlin is not going to be a one-patch thing. Like, the next several patches of Genshin are going to be significantly more popular than the 4.8 patch was. Which is kind of sad, because I really like Emily. I think she has a really good design, and people dog on her for no reason. But people are saving for Natlin, and people aren't as excited about a temporary map addition for a summer patch as they will be for the full-on new nation they're getting at the 5.0 patch. And like I said, Zenless Zone Zero is just now starting to be a thing, and it's releasing characters that people are, well, horny about, because I think that's really the only thing I've seen people talk about with this game. That's really actually the only thing I've ever seen about Zenless Zone Zero. I'm not gonna lie, I haven't played it. I don't plan on playing it. But the point is, people are more excited, I would say, for Zenless Zone Zero characters, from what I see looking around the gacha game community, than they are for Wuthering Wave characters. I think Xi Jinping, I think she's cool and she's pretty, and I pulled her. But the thing is, like, okay, watch me pull this character. Oh, here we are. Is this the character? Don't lose. Hey! We got the character. Let's go. We did it. Hell yeah. And I got a ping. I got pinged on the Discord. Oh wow, why is everyone fucking pinging all of a sudden? I get a 5-star, everybody starts fucking pinging me. I wasn't that excited! I was more excited about pulling Emily in a game where I have 1,000,000 5-stars already than I was in this game where I have 1 limited 5-star. Oh! Holy shit! It's early! Did we get her? Hey, we did! Hey, that's awesome! We got an early Emily! That's sick as hell! Hell yeah! Sweet! And that's because I'm just not bought into this game. You know, I think the combat is, at its core, pretty fun, but that's the only thing that I'm really excited about with Wuthering Waves. It's not really... Excitement isn't even really the right word at this point, because, I mean, I've done enough of it that I'm not getting anything new when I go there and mash E and use Jinxi's elemental skill, resonant skill, 1,000,000 times and just kill everything, because I've done it 1,000,000 times already. So Wuthering Waves really needs to hope that its next couple patches are big, because I think that it's going to quickly see a decline in its popularity if it doesn't, because, I mean, a lot of the people I know that play these games have already kind of stopped really giving much of a shit about Wuthering Waves, and hey, I'll be honest with you, if I stop playing today and then 5 months from now they release Camellia, I'm gonna jump back on the game, but that's because I'm just committed to the bit at this point. It's not because I'm really interested in playing the game. So, yeah, I don't know. I just kind of want to make a video saying that I think Wuthering Waves really needs to do something. I don't know what that is. I don't know if that's another big map expansion in the next patch. I don't know if it's some weird update to the general gameplay system, if it's some really unique events, or whatever it is. Or maybe Kuro just needs to, like, leak their... Maybe they just need to leak their customers' personal data again so that they have an excuse to give us a free 5-star. I don't know. But what I do know is that Genshin is going to be a lot more popular in a couple weeks than it has been for the past couple months. And that Zenless Zone Zero probably isn't going anywhere. So they really need to step up their game, or they're gonna end up left in the dust.